Hello and welcome. This is TBC News, our top stories tonight. Tanzania operationalizes Tax Ombudsman Service.
To identify all areas in the tax administration systems which have got weaknesses and the sources of complaints.
Government makes strides towards Agenda 2063. Well, dear viewers, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Agnes Tuniga. You can also follow us live on our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. President Samia Suluhu Hassan is expected to grace the World Teachers' Day celebrations, which will go in hand with marking 30 years of the Tanzania Teachers Union, TTU, which this year will be held nationally in Mwanza. The TTU chairman in Mwanza region, Mahewa Lamek, says that the celebrations will be held on December 16th this year at CCM Kirumba, insisting teachers from various regions in the country to come out in large numbers to participate in the celebrations.
Sherehe hizi zitafanyika mkoani Mwanza.
The celebrations will take place on the 16th of December in Mwanza region. We will reflect on the growth of our organization, the achievements we have, the challenges we face, and what we should do to move forward. The Teachers Association in September had agreed to welcome President Samia. We are going to have booths in the celebrations where documented history of our association will be displayed.
Speaking to journalists in Mwanza, Lamek says the celebrations of the World Teachers' Day and the 30th anniversary of TTU will be preceded by exhibitions of various activities.
The fact that our association exists until today, that is a success on itself. Secondly, our association has been establishing various investments. The association has also been advocating for worker rights. These celebrations give us a chance to be familiar with all the activities done by our association from 1993 when it was established. Therefore, it is an opportunity to rejoice in our success.
The Tanzania Teachers Union, TTU, was established in 1993, and until now the association has 18,000 members out of the 20,000 teachers in the country. The government has established the Tax Ombudsman Office of Tanzania, TOST, aiming to facilitate an independent and equitable platform to resolve complaints against the administration of tax laws through discussion to get solutions through ways that do not cost much to the beneficiaries. Speaking to editors of various media houses, the head of office, Robert Manyama, says that the office also aims to improve service delivery systems as well as the working on unsatisfactory decisions on tax collections to ensure that the business community pay tax conveniently.
Well, the duties among many include receiving complaints, registering complaints, and handle the complaints as effectively and efficiently as possible. Another one is to identify all areas in the tax administration systems which have got weaknesses and the sources of complaints, and raise them up for investigation and inquiry, and thereafter make recommendations to the minister for rectification of the system, or giving directives to other institutions for executing the proper requirements according to the recommendations given by the Tax Ombudsman.
The Tax Ombudsman Office of Tanzania, TOST, will now begin to receive complaints on tax payment issues where complainants will have to give correct information, which will be worked on for a period of 30 days. The move targets to reduce the backlog of court cases related to tax and hence increase the investors' confidence and ultimately the revenue collection.
By going to thematic approach, where we are taking now one sector and establish the ombudsman to oversee the sector. A tax administration sector now, the ombudsman will exclusively look at the tax administration sector and try to see what are the sources of the problems and where actually the rights of the taxpayers are being trampled, and then act on those shortcomings to rectify the situation so as to increase voluntary tax compliance.
According to the head of the TOST office, the institute uses mediation methods to solve tax complaints, which will eventually strengthen relations between the taxpayers and the tax collectors. For now, businessmen and women can send information of their complaints through various means, including email and mobile phones. President of Zanzibar, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, calls on Tanzanians to capitalize on the employment opportunities available in the Middle East countries, which will reduce the magnitude of unemployment in Tanzania and has increased their income. President Dr. Mwinyi says Tanzania and Qatar have an agreement to allow Tanzanians to work in Qatar, and the government will inspire more Tanzanians to grab the opportunities.
Tayari kuna mkataba au makubaliano.
We already have contractual agreements that allow workers from Tanzania to work in Qatar. I'm grateful that our embassy has been able to manage that well. We are going to put more efforts into making sure that more young people can come to work here. There are many opportunities here, and so the government is making sure that these relations are even more stable so that more young people can come to work in Qatar.
Wanapata fursa ya kuja kufanya kazi katika maeneo mbalimbali hapa Qatar.
Dr. Mwinyi made the remarks on the sideline of the Doha Forum 2023, where he is there to represent the President of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, highlighting that the government of Tanzania and the government of Qatar have agreed on a wide range of issues related to cooperation. President Dr. Mwinyi furthermore elaborates the outcome of various talks he had with various leaders in Doha and how the governments of Tanzania and Zanzibar will benefit.
Is to bring together various nations in discussing socio-economic and political issues. I had the opportunity to participate in the discussions about digital transformation. I'm happy to say that we have received enough ideas. We have shared our experience as a country and have also received the ideas.
The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, Dr. Doto Biteko, says Tanzania has made strides towards the implementation of the agreement of Agenda 2063, which aims to transform Africa into the global powerhouse of the future. He made the remarks while representing President Samia Suluhu Hassan during the Heads of State meeting to discuss the implementation of the agenda in Gaborone, Botswana, which coincides with the celebration of the Kusi Ideas Festival. Here are more details.
Dr. Biteko insists Tanzania has made great strides in the implementation of the agenda, including issues related to peace, security, and democracy, connecting various development projects with other African countries, including Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Zambia, which open economic opportunities for African countries. The Africa Agenda 2063 of the Africa We Want has 7 priorities, which include bringing Africa together on issues of development, good governance, democracy and justice, preserving African culture and values, and having Africa that brings desired economic development to its people for the benefit of the African citizens. In addition, Dr. Biteko has participated in the discussion involving the African presidents on the agenda for the Agenda 2063, which gives a roadmap for Africa to fulfill its dreams and make it the Africa they want. In the discussion, Dr. Biteko gave an assessment of the implementation of the goals of the Agenda 2063 of the previous 10 years for Tanzania, where he said Tanzania has made great strides in the establishment of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and remove trade barriers to stimulate economic activities amongst Tanzanian citizens.
The Director General of the Petroleum Bulk Procurement Agency, PBPA, Erasto Simon, says his agency will keep enhancing the oil importation through the Bulky Procurement System, BPS, so as to continue to secure the actual world market price, insisting the move will attract more importers to the system, especially neighboring countries that depend on Tanzanian ports of transit oil. He was in the special meeting with media editors, asserting that there is still little participation of local companies in oil imports, despite the government reducing capital costs for domestic importers at the level of $30 billion compared to foreign importers at the level of $100 billion.
Currently, we are importing above 55% of the total imports for transit. So this explains clearly that the system is working perfectly. Though we are making more effort to make this system to be more profitable for the government and users by insisting key issues that I've mentioned. Security of supply of petroleum product all the time. We make sure the country is wet. Also to make sure that all procurement of petroleum products are done efficiently. There are several advantages that I've explained during my submission in the presentation. One being to have the actual statistics on the importations of petroleum products.
Furthermore, Erasto adds the system has made the government save approximately $200 million that were lost before the introduction of the system, bringing relief to the fuel importation cost, but also the system has boosted tax revenue associated with oil products and control fraud in fuel costs. On the other hand, the director of the agency plans to improve the petroleum products receiving infrastructure, which is currently facing several challenges. The existing infrastructure has been used since the beginning of BPS, when the amount of petroleum products that was imported per month was an average of 200,000 to 250,000 tons. Currently, the amount of oil that is imported per month is an average of 450,000 to 600,000 metric tons. 35 countries are participating in a 5-day working session that aim at discussing the implementation of safety for workers in the atomic energy sector, where the talks target to provide guidance for the implementation of the project in the next phase. The Director of Technology and Technical Services, the Tanzania Atomic Energy Commission, Dr. Remigius Kawala, made the remarks in Arusha, insisting Tanzania has complied with all the standards of the United Nations in the control of exposure to radiation for the employees in the profession.
As a country, we have the ability of monitoring our employees and ensuring that they do not get affected by nuclear rays. What we mean is that while they are treating people using these rays, they should not get affected. And this is the main aim of this meeting and for this project that is about to be completed after 4 years.
Felix Wanjala, who is in charge of the project, says the agency has identified the safety of the workers in the radiation profession is an important issue, and through the session they will discuss the plans in details.
We are here to see how our workers can protect themselves against diseases caused by nuclear rays.
The head of the Department of Research, Academic and Consulting of the National College of Tourism, Jessica Williams, says collaboration between the college and investors in the hospitality industry is critical in developing the best professional experts in the industry and hence attracting more tourists in the country. Speaking during a special forum that brings together various tourism stakeholders, including investors in hospitality industry, the head of the department says the college is determined to support the government to develop the tourism industry in all aspects. Hence, meeting the key stakeholders creates a platform for students to learn more on the profession.
Tunafanya kazi kwa karibu sana na wadau wa sekta.
We are working closely with stakeholders of various hotels and sectors like NCT, as well as hotel owners. This is one of the pillars of providing quality training, and that is why we have invited various stakeholders from hotels and even the government in order to ensure that we create youth who are well-equipped.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Association of Hotel Owners in Tanzania, Kennedy Edward, emphasizes the issue of creativity in teaching, which should fit with the current world of science and technology, while some of the college alumni expressed their thoughts on the forum.
Because of changes in economy, ICT, we have seen that the world is rapidly evolving, and as a nation, we cannot be left behind. In that particular aspect, it means that NCT has done a great job, but it still needs to do a lot to catch up with the day-to-day changes economically and in ICT, and how globalization continues to change the tourism and economic sector generally.
Siku kama ya leo inasaidia wanafunzi kuwa motivated.
A day like this helps students to be motivated and to know what to be done before you enter the industry. So I urge the National College of Tourism, hotels and tourism companies to maintain such unity, since it helps students to be more knowledgeable and equipped where they're going.
Well, dear viewers, and here is international news as compiled and read by Nyambona Masamba.
Intense fighting had continued in parts of Gaza Strip. In a heavily populated south city of Khan Yunis, people have been told to flee. Trains have reached the main north-south road. Israel aircraft have been attacking an area to the west. Hamas-run Health Ministry says dozens of people have been killed across Gaza in the past 24 hours, including 18 southern deaths since Israel began its military actions. The Israel army has issued another call to Palestinians to evacuate to Gaza City. With less than 2 weeks to go before the presidential election, the DRC incumbent president, who is running for re-election, was seen in campaign day in Goma. Felix Tshisekedi's meeting, which was under heavy security, took place to a large space of North Kivu province are controlled by M23 rebels. He promised that his government will keep on fighting against the M23 rebels until the whole country is liberated. He asked for support from the people so as their votes on the 20th December this year. Thumb Republic Arik Zahran.
That was international news. Sports news up next. Simba Sports Club head coach Abdelak Benchika says his striking force failed to score as the result they lost against Wydad Casablanca in the CAF Champions League match played on Saturdays in Morocco. Speaking after his arrival at Julius Nyerere International Airport in Dar es Salaam from Morocco, Coach Benchika insists that the team managed to create many chances during the game, but strikers failed to convert ball into the net, and promises that he is working on it before the return leg match.
In attack position, we must be concentrate. Our forwards make lot of effort in match. Lot of effort in match.
Simba sits at the bottom of the table of Group B with 2 points as they played 3 matches, drew 2 and lost 1 against Wydad. Therefore, the return match is a do-or-die game to be played at Benjamin Mkapa on December 19th. Handball instructor Clay Felix says skills and knowledge which will be impacted to handball coaches will boost the game to the highest level in Africa. Speaking during the training of the handball coaches in Dar es Salaam, instructor Felix urged handball coaches to pass the skills and knowledge to youth so as to boost the development of the game in Tanzania.
This is second course in Tanzania. The first one was 7 days in Mwanza. So after this course, I came over to Dar es Salaam, and now we are in the second part of this second course. There's a great potential in Tanzania for handball because you have a lot of young persons, a lot of young guys. They are fast, they're agile, so they have very good preconditions for handball.
25 handball coaches across the country are attending the course to acquire handball license D of coaching. Well, dear viewers, that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the team, I'm Agnes Tuniga, and thank you very much for watching. Good night.